There's a lot of just other costs that I don't think a lot of people who don't do markets think of. How are we going to display it? And, I've probably spent a couple $100 just on display stuff.
Going to a craft show is about way more than just paying for a booth. A lot of people think it is as simple as handing over the money for a space and showing up. But that is just the beginning. To really attract customers, you need a display that stands out, something that draws people in. And a good display, it does not come cheap. You're talking tables, banners, signage, lighting, little detail that add up fast. Then there's parking. Most craft shows don't offer free parking. And if you are there from morning until evening, those fees can really add up fast. And don't forget food. You are working hard, standing all day, talking to customers, and the cost of eating while you are at the show is part of the price of doing business. All of this add up to a cost of selling at a market that's much higher than most people realize. Many see the booth fee and think that's all they have to spend. But maintaining a booth for an entire day or multiple days requires time, money, and effort that often goes unnoticed. From setup to breakdown, keeping your products organized, making your space inviting, and keeping yourself fueled and ready. The real costs go far beyond the simple booth fee rental. So next time you walk into a craft show and see the beautiful display and friendly vendors, remember, there's a lot more behind the scene than meet the eyes. Selling at a market, it is an investment in time, money, and creativity. It is something that takes dedication if you wanted to make it work.
I think in this day and age, it's really hard to make any sort of profit as a small business owner with the international climate as volatile as it is. A lot of us are struggling even more now. But, I found recently I don't really make much money, to be completely honest. I break even quite often. But I don't make a huge profit. But I do find that it's really good for networking, sharing my social media, getting out there. But, as someone who comes to markets on a regular basis, grew up going to different markets, all the time, I might be trying to transition more into online, but I love the networking and meeting other people. And, I think there's certain people that come to markets and there's certain people that set up at markets, and it's really nice just to kind of, meet each other. I've found some market people I can collaborate with, and, we're just out here trying to help each other out. But I don't make much money, but I have a lot of fun. And on the days I do make money or make a profit, it feels all the better. But I love just meeting people that come up and, get really excited to see all my product. And, I think it's more of emotional profit than money profit. But that's just kind of my thought on it. But I do have fun.
Welcome to the farmer market, where a hot dog costs you $8. Yes, you heard that right.
Yeah, kind of the hidden costs of the market are there's the drive time, there's the gas to get here, but I would say probably the biggest cost is honestly the time, because there's the time to first of all make the art and make all the products, but then it does take a lot to prepare them for market. So bagging them and pricing them and just like thinking about the setup. So I'd say that's the biggest cost, which is kind of hard to put on a number on your time. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if I factor that into the pricing as much, because I would be making the art anyway, so it's just a little bit more time to prep everything for a market. So I think that you do make money. Again, it depends on the market and, just sort of the day. But I think for the most part, you do make a little. It's just like not quite as much as you have in your head when you just look at, oh, I made this much money. Then you subtract the booth fee and everything else. But, in the end, it still does make a profit. So, yeah.
How you doing? I'm well, thank you. How are you? Oh, it's very hot. Yes, it is, isn't it?
When you decide to sell at a market, you are really taking a chance. You are stepping into a space where anything could happen. And that's what part of the excitement, but also part of the challenge. Many new vendors come in thinking that if they pay for a booth, they are good to go. But the truth is, there are so many hidden costs that can completely surprise you, especially if you are selling perishable items. Let's take food vendor for example. Imagine Melissa who baked dozens of banana bread for the weekend market. She thinks, I have made my product, I have brought it to the booth, I will sell it, and everything will be fine. But here's the reality. What if it rains? What if the humidity ruins some of her bread? What if she sells slower than she expected and end up with more than she can take home? Suddenly, her time, her effort, and her money are all at risk. That's just one example of the surprises that can happen.
Do we always make our money back?
You make money, obviously.
Most markets, my goal is to always make my booth fee back. That doesn't always happen. Most of the times it does happen for us, but there have been a few that haven't. The one I'm at today is not looking great, but I mean, that's one of the risks we take, but we got to get our name out there. We've got to learn. We've got to grow. So sometimes they're worth it, and sometimes you blow numbers out of the water like crazy, and other times you barely make it by if you make it by. But that's a risk of being a small business owner and making that effort.
Now, don't get me wrong, many of the hidden costs are actually controllable. You just take a bit of research, planning, and asking the right question before you even step foot at the market. Packing your own lunch, bringing your own water bottle, making sure you have enough display. These are things you can control. You can budget for them, plan for them, and make sure they don't catch you off guard. But some things are completely out of your controls. Items can break during transport, maybe a glass jar tips over, or you are careful, big goods shift and get crushed. Sometimes you sell half of the product you made because the rest is damaged or unsellable. Maybe a customer bump into your table, maybe a sudden gust of wind blows over your display. These things happen. And yes, it is frustrating when it happens, but it is part of the market life. The market is unpredictable. You might have the perfect day with the perfect weather and everything flies off your table. Or you might have a day where barely anyone walks by you. And you start questioning why you even bother. That unpredictability is both exciting and challenging. It keeps every market experience unique. And while the uncontrollable aspect can be stressful, They're also what make you a stronger, smarter vendor over time. You learn to adapt. You learn to pack more carefully, to secure your display, to plan for contingency, and to accept that sometimes things just happen. Another thing new vendors often overlook is the emotional cost. Selling at a market is not just about money. It's about energy. It is about showing up, engaging with customer, keeping a smile on your face even when it is hot, crowded, or slow. It is about maintaining enthusiasm for your product when things don't go perfectly. And that takes effort. Every sale, every positive comment, every returning customer makes it worth it.
Say that again?
I work in theater.
Oh,
The truth is, market life is a mix of planning and improvise. The better you plan, the more control you have. But there will always be surprises, and that's okay. It's part of the adventure. You are not just selling a product, you are building experience, learning resiliency, and discovering how to make your business better with every market you attend. So when you think about joining a market, remember that it is more than just a booth fee. It is a mix of preparation, adaptability, and a little bit of luck. You will face hidden costs, unexpected challenges, and days when nothing goes as planned. But you will also have the opportunity to connect with customers, showcase your products, and grow as a vendor. That's the reality of market life. And honestly, for those who stick with it, it is one of the most rewarding experiences you can have as a small business owner.